Okay, I just ate way too much pizza. So I think I figured it out. I was doing this backwards. So this is your UE4 skeleton with this is, you want to come back down 50 and then up 30 on this guy, and same here. You want to make this match, so bring it down 50, and I left these straight. Maybe that should change. I'm not sure, but do the same thing. You modify, use current pose. I did make sure this was changed to humanoid. I'm not 100% positive that matters. And then you hit save. And then when you go to, let's see, these animations, I already did the third person walk. So if I do these, retarget and duplicate. Now this rig shows up correctly. I think that's because they're both using the humanoid now. When I didn't do that before, it wasn't seeing that as compatible, so you don't have to uncheck this, which is good. Um, and so then I'm going to change to mannequin polygon anims, retarget, so it should push all those in here. And now, I don't know why they're not all showing up down there. That's weird. There's the third person run. Um, there's the idle. I don't know what's going on down here. This is supposed to show all available animations for this rig. Maybe it's because they're not saved. Control Shift S will just save everything that's open. Yeah, there they go. Okay, so now you should be able to cycle through these. Third person run. There's two versions of that. I guess I did that on accident. So anyway, that gets you to this guy. So now that doesn't allow you to play that character just yet. So we're gonna have to deal with the Anim blueprint. So if you don't want to mess with, real quick, just make sure. So, okay, I tried putting in one of the characters. That didn't work. That's the other thing you will probably want to do. I did this person first. If you select all of them with the pink underneath, this guy is a physics asset. It's different. So all of the skeletal meshes, right click, skeleton, assign skeleton, polygon rig, except you have to do this for each one, which is a pain in the ass. Some of the bigger packs with, with a ton of characters, this can take a little while, but it's not horrible since it's at the top. And this will set all of them. So any of them can then be used with the same animation setup. Blah, blah, blah. Click, click, click. How many are there? Okay, so now you should be able to go back to this guy. No, that's the actual animation. Here we go. And you should be able to choose any character, put him on there, and then hit apply, then go to the animation, and maybe do that from here. I don't know, I'm wasting your time with this, but what the hell. There we go. Okay, there. Now you can see how those guys work. Okay, so now if you want to make your actual character in this one here, so the mesh is what you want to change, and then you're going to switch to the third person anim blueprint, compile. Now this is not going to work immediately. You'll still be able to move around, but it's not going to animate because that animation blueprint. Let me double check. Yeah, that is definitely the right one. So what happens is when you switch to a skeleton that doesn't work, it clears out the anim class. So anim mode is animation blueprint. You can choose an asset and then just choose a specific animation for that skeleton, and then in your viewport you'll see them playing that, so you can kind of see what they'll look like with that. But when you play the game, it's just going to be stuck in that looping animation. So what you need to do, we'll go back to blueprint, compile. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to duplicate the animation blueprint up here. So you can either duplicate it. Actually, no, you have to duplicate it now that I think about it. In fact, duplicating is not going to work unless, yeah, you can do this. So you're going to right click. Actually, can we do this with two? Doesn't look like it. I think it'll work on either one. So, okay, we're going to do this one first because this one is called by this one. So right click, retarget. So we're going to be doing the same story. My Polygon atoms, retarget, and then back to here, this one. Oops, wrong one there, retarget. Okay, so now, does this work? Funny thing is, he's got his arms out again. I don't know why that is. Because these all look fine. What's his idle look like? Oh, wait. No? Well, I'll be damned. So this, for some reason, didn't save properly, or I accidentally reset it. Because the skeleton is... Yeah, I'm not sure what happened here. This is the Polygon rig, so that's the right skeleton. So we just need to drop these down again. So 50, 50, modify, save, use current, save. That should, I think. I'm not sure if I have to do something to refresh this one. Maybe compile it. I'm not sure what he's doing. It might be that this is calling... I bet I know what this is. So, okay. So this is an animation graph. I don't know how Unity does this stuff. You guys may have played around with something similar that Steven does. But basically this is an on-tick event that's always firing, and it's looking at your player pawn, and then it's grabbing some things. So is it falling? It sets is in air. You get the velocity to get your speed, and then those two are driving some stuff in your anim graph. So this is a state machine that's going to an output pose, and the pose is actually the animation, but sometimes it's, it might blend stuff together. So in here, this is your actual state machine. So idle run is running a blend space based on the speed. So when you double click this, this is a two-dimensional or one-dimensional. I don't know, they call them different things, but basically this is running along this line from 0 to speed of 375. If you hold down Shift and move the mouse back and forth, it'll change the speed just as a test, so you can kind of see what it looks like. So it's blending from idle to run, or to walk to run. So I think what's going on here, if you click on these, you can is it click or shift click? Okay, shift moves it. This, I don't think you can grab. You have to right click and then change the speed if you want manually. And then I think you also need to, well, no, the animations are set right. I'm not sure why his arms are sticking out like that. That's kind of annoying. But this is how you'd set up a pose. So there's another version that is a 3D version that is, it has it has an x-axis, or sorry, a y-axis, and that would let you set, for instance, forward at medium speed, forward right, forward left. Sorry, this would be high speed up here, and then this would be left to right. So you could have like leaning animations in the middle, and it would blend through all that stuff. We don't have enough animations here to do that, and for some stupid reason, his arms are sticking back out on everything. I don't know what that's all about, but whatever. Good enough for now. This gives you the general ideas. If you, I'll put a note in there, or I'll cut out the early part where I screwed up, even though I'm talking about it a whole bunch, so hopefully you don't run into the screw up part. and his shit looks fine. But so basically, this is all set up there in this anim graph state machine. So that sets what the what is playing. So when you're in idle, based on speed, it's going to set your animations, and it's going to blend between them based on the speed. And then the only other states they have at the moment is a jump start, which is going to play a single animation of the jump start. It's just that. And then in jump loop, it's playing a single animation, and you can see the tooltip. You can see more actually if you hold down Control and Alt at the same time. It gives you a bunch of information. But you can see what's actually in there in this preview state. So you can see that it's just playing a single animation on these, and then this is playing something else that's driving it. Now the in-betweens are the I can't remember what they call them, but they're transition states basically. So from idle, it is only possible in this particular case to go to a jump start. So it goes in this direction, and these are easy to do. You just drag off. So if you wanted to have an attack, you could drag out here, set a state, call it attack, and then you would double click in here and set your parameters or what animation it's going to play when it does that. Obviously we don't have any attacks, so I'm going to get rid of that. But then when you set these transitions, you can set, like I could say, okay, it's possible to go from jump start straight back here, and it would set up this new transition. So this is the current one that says, are you in the air? If you are, then actually, is this one? Yeah, this one is in air. This is just taking whatever this value is if it's true. So when you jump, it automatically puts you in the air. So you would play that same animation if you walked off of a ledge or something as well as jumped. I want to delete this one, but because you could, I guess you could set it so there's like a breakout where if you hit jump and then immediately hit attack, it would go into something else, or you could kick it back down to here, whatever. But this is relatively simple, and this is a very simple one to start with that gives you pretty much everything you need. I think the most complicated thing going on here is the blend space that's happening. And I've set up for some of my other characters, I've set up some slightly more complicated stuff with, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff you can do here. You can blend upper body animations with lower body, so you can run and still, do a punch or something. But the probably the most confusing part is setting this stuff up, because you need to know where you're getting stuff from. Usually it's going to be pulled from the movement component, which is in your third-person character blueprint over here, and it's a base component of a character that sets, like excuse me, movement speed and all sorts of stuff like that. For now, obviously, you don't have to worry about that. You probably find plenty of tutorials if you're trying to figure out how to do specific things. But I think this gets you enough to get in and start working. I think maybe the problem I'm running into with the arms, now that I look at it, is there's some of these that still had the arms out, not all of them. So what happens if I delete these? I bet they're being referenced. Yeah, they're being referenced by something. It looks like these things are referencing stuff. So if I would force delete, that would cause a problem. So it looks like any of the ones that don't have a 1 or 2 after them are good, except for the walk for some reason. So maybe I need to re-export or re-transition this one. But anyway, hopefully you don't run into that screw up, but that's why his arms are screwy here. To change that, you would just go into this, go to the anim graph, which is also over here. You just double click, and I think this breaks out the whole thing, so you can go to each individual state if you want. Otherwise, you jump in there, and then double click. Here you would want to change the animations on this by right clicking here and choosing. So third person idle There we go. Yeah, that looks right. So this one is third person walk, which was screwed up still for some reason. I think, yeah, his arms go up, so he's gonna look like an idiot. And then this one, the run without, should look fine. So now when he when he runs, he's gonna put his arms out like Naruto. You can also see this stuff up here, and actually this is important. You can change the speed value, so you can set what the minimum and maximum is along that scale. You can also set the number of grid divisions here. If you, for whatever reason, if you had like 7 different things you wanted to blend between or something, you could add more of those. Okay, so I think that sets all that stuff up. So now you have this blueprint, animation blueprint set up in here, this third person anim BP with this guy. I'm just going to call this B Polygon, just so I don't confuse it. And then if you go back to your third person character, you can choose the mesh, and now you should be able to choose the anim B Polygon, compile, and if you go look at the viewport, yeah, now the character is looking correct. So in the mesh, I don't like that character, that looks weird. You can choose whatever you want, and they should all, since they're all using the same skeleton, they should work. So now when I play, now I got a dude that runs around, and when he goes, I don't think I'm set up to go fast, so he doesn't put his arms out, which is too bad because that was kind of funny. Maybe I'll do that for the jump one, so when he gets sprinting, he looks like he's Naruto. Anyway, that I think is the main thing that you're going to need to know. I might throw together some more. If you have any other questions, I'd be more than happy to answer. Anyway, good luck. Hope it works.